Matt, start an intro.
I wouldn't want to take them from you guys.
Welcome to BC Procast episode 57. We're here with Braedon and Caeden today. Thank you for starring in our podcast today. We have some questions for you, Matthew.
Okay. So first question, what was the inspiration behind the outfits today, guys?
Well, wait, is this the start?
I think this is the start. Well, this is our BC Pro merch. Link in description.
Link in bio.
Link in bio.
And then this is UFC merch. Shout out, we're sponsored by the UFC.
Dang, that's amazing.
Quick question: how late did you stay up last night?
Me?
Yeah.
Why are you asking me?
I'm just asking.
You keep looking at my eyes.
I'm just asking.
You keep looking at my eyes though when you ask.
Okay, let's just go around.
Okay.
Monique, how late did you stay up last night?
Technically 12, but then I woke up at 3, so then technically 4.
Okay.
I don't know.
And then Matt, how late did you stay up last night?
3:30.
Okay.
I stayed up until I think 11:30.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Okay. All right.
What about you, Braedon?
I went to bed at 12.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, late.
Yeah. No, I try. I've been trying to stay up.
No, his bedtime's at 10:30. So
Yeah. Well, 10.
Oh my gosh.
Tries to be 10. So, a little story about me is that I'm all about like getting the most out of life, like legitimately.
Mm-hmm.
So, on my normal schedule, I wake up at like 5 something, and then I go to bed around like 10.
Mm-hmm.
But on my weekends, I'm getting the most of this sucker because the weekends go by so
That's
fast.
so true.
100%.
So I like to stay up as late as I possibly can, but like my sleep schedule is so like early, so I like fall asleep pretty early. So like I'm like on my phone or like watching stuff like at 12 o'clock, and then I just like fall asleep. I do like the thing. I don't know. Have you guys ever wanted to do this? I want to be at a point where now I have an alarm.
Okay.
This podcast is not going to be about me, but I have an alarm now.
It's about you.
A clock and not my phone anymore. But I've always
Really?
wanted to go like this. Like I want to be on my phone while falling asleep, and then just like fall asleep and like let my phone. Like, do you know what I'm talking about?
Dude. It's a dangerous game.
You do that all the
Every
time.
day.
I'm
Every
good
day.
at it though.
And he doesn't plug in his phone either, so I have to like.
Yeah, I'd look
do
and be
it.
like, 20%, we're good.
Wait, hold on. Wait, real back to you. Do you have an alarm clock?
I just got one.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
When did you get it?
I got it recently, this week actually, because 2 times this week my phone like failed me, aka like it was, the alarm was going off, but just the vibration. So the first night I woke up to my phone falling off my like side dresser
Oh,
thing,
really?
which I was like, oh, thank you, like Jesus, because I have a long commute and like I can't like be late. So like it was enough time. Then literally the next night after, I woke up like 2 times throughout the night thinking about like, is my alarm going to go off? I don't know if you guys
Oh,
ever
really?
experienced that. So like I woke up at like 2 something, and I think I like went and used the bathroom, and then, oh no, I think I woke up because of a scary dream.
Oh.
I was like sweating. It was like animals in my head. It was a weird thing. Then
Was there birds in
I
it?
woke up.
Was there birds
and
in it?
I woke up, and then I was like, all right, like what time is it? It's like 4:30. I'm like, all right, sweet. I have like about like 45 minutes to wake up. Then I woke up at 5:47, which is late. That's waking up late for me. So then I was like, oh my goodness. And then I was like, I need to get an alarm clock. So I got an alarm clock, but dude, it's like scary alarm clock. Bro. Like there's no like, it's no like do 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 or like bum 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 bum. It's bam 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 bam, and you're just like, and I put it across my room. Not for like, because everyone here knows.
Do this.
Well, no, you know that I don't do that. I usually, when my alarm goes off, I like hit it and get up right away. But like, I need my phone to charge, and I have like this weird outlet thing. This is all like so much information about my life, but this outlet thing where like one on the bottom stays like powers through the whole night. The other one is like a switch, which I use for lights in my room. So I'm like, all right, I have to move it to another outlet. So I put it like, it's not across the room, but it's like I have to get up. But like I used it on, I think Friday was the first day I used it. Thursday. No, it was I used it Thursday, But I woke up before it on Thursday because, again, like I was thinking about it. Friday, I woke up to and I was like, oh my goodness. And so.
Were you kind of excited for it? Were you like, oh, dude, I can't wait to get woken up?
No.
That's how.
Yeah, no, I don't.
But I went up, snoozed it, went to the shower, and then Jayla texted me and said, your alarm was going off. I just unplugged it. And I remembered, I'm like, because I only pressed the snooze button. What I need to do is press the alarm button, which turns it off. So I didn't hear it.
I would have been
it was
so
going
annoyed.
off.
That she.
Yeah, she was hearing it. It's like you're just like, oh my goodness. Like if you sleep through that,
Are
like,
you gonna
I
just
don't know.
keep that, or are you gonna?
I kind of like it. It gives it takes a responsibility off like my phone.
Yeah.
Like let my phone rest, you know.
You could get a different one.
And then
So
also I have a
courteous.
clock now, but it's also really bright. I like sleep with like my room dark.
Oh, so you turn it.
But now it's like bright, so I like turn it, but then like I can see like my whole room. Like so, bad guys, you can't sneak into my room now. Like I can see the whole room. So I'm like, I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like it. But now I'm like, I was using it today. I was like doing my stuff. I'm like, what time is it? And usually I check my phone, but I'm like, I have some more time. That's awesome.
What's up.
And that's what's up. And that's what's up.
And that's what's up.
So do you literally just go to bed without plugging your stuff in? You just
No,
like
not normally. But like I did it. I'll do it if my phone is like above 60%.
Dude, you so much just like have a wife where you can like completely trust that she'll take
rely
care
on
of you.
her. Yeah, she set the alarm this morning so that we make sure we got here. So I had a lot late last night playing some games with some friends, and then so she set the alarm, got here, showed up. Excited to see what we can talk about.
wait, okay, hold on. You wake him up.
Whenever we drive somewhere together, it's me waking him up.
Is he fast to get up or
No.
tell me like what is like the situation? I need to hear
Okay,
this.
so I usually set the alarm for 15 minutes. Like, because we usually get ready in 15 minutes. Maybe not, but usually. And then I'm like, okay, Matthew, wake up. Like, I try to give him some scratches so I don't, like, jolt him awake, you know? Like,
That'd be nice.
and then, like, I get up and, like, do my thing in the bathroom. I come back, he's sleeping. Like, every time without
Yeah.
fail. I'm like, Matthew, get up. He's like, I have an alarm for 5 more minutes. I'm like, Matthew, you're not going to get ready in 2 minutes. Get up.
No, I will.
And I feel like every time we come here, we always leave like 2 minutes late. And I'm like,
Yep, yeah, it's noticed.
I literally, like, he'll still be getting ready and I'll go out to the car and like pull it out and like pull right in front of the garage so he can just walk to the car and we can
Matt
sit
goes,
down, 'cause I'm like-
Matt goes, this church service starts after announcements. After a song
Dude,
announces,
of
that's when
course.
church starts.
No, but like today, we got here on time, but
Yeah.
I was standing.
We
at
were
the
still
door
2 minutes late.
waiting because she said she was gonna start the car, and so I was just standing there, and I was like, wait, this has been a while since Monique's came back. So I opened the door, she's in the car waiting, like she's like pulled up in the driveway, and I'm like,
funny.
wait, I was like, okay, this is gonna look bad. I was actually ready. I was like, well, let's go.
Right.
Yeah.
So I have two questions, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
First question is, would you rather never have to sleep or gain 25 years of life to
I
your
feel like
life?
we've talked about this.
Have we?
No, I feel like we've talked about
Oh,
it.
that's so
So
weird.
No, I remember this question recently, but I think you asked me
Or wait-
this recently.
Did I?
Yeah. I'm almost positive. But you
what's
actually
your-
know what?
I know my answer.
Yeah, you told me your answer. You said the.
Oh,
I don't know
yeah,
what
it was, yeah.
But yeah, I would do the no sleep because
I would do no sleep.
Hold on. Does it mean I am fully regenerated? Like I'm good to go?
you're
throughout
pacing
the-
your age.
No.
Like I'm always good. Like I don't need to
You don't
sleep,
need to sleep.
or I get to sleep.
You don't get to.
You don't need to sleep.
No. I know. I don't need to sleep. Like I will be fully fresh every
you're
single time.
24 hours a day, you're up.
Dang.
Don't need to sleep or never get to sleep.
Like you don't need to sleep.
Oh, yeah. I would pick that one then.
Tired because you're never able to
See,
sleep.
that's what I was saying. I was like,
It's like
that
you
doesn't-
can never sleep, but so you're always
Okay,
tired.
I have my answer.
What's your answer?
I think I'd do the sleep.
Yeah.
Like be able to sleep.
Yeah.
I think being able
You'd be able to sleep?
like
So you'd
choose-
want to add 25 years to your life?
No.
Wait, what? What's
No,
the
no,
would
no,
you
no, no.
Would you rather not ever have to sleep or have 25 years added to your life?
Oh, 25 years added to my life.
Whoa. Dude, okay. But Wait, whoa, hold on. Taking
Oh,
away
she
from
said-
me. Taking the power
She said
away
you're
from
done.
me.
Did you, by the way,
I'm
real
about to
quick?
release some
That's it,
public
mute.
so
Am I missing something?
I'm
Real
about
quick,
to-
last night, did you guys see when the audience was the comedic group was like, who wants to, and then the person goes, me, and they chose
Yeah,
themselves. I was
yeah.
like, that's a power move. Sorry, that was just reminding me of that.
No, no sleep, right? And what do we sleep? Like 7 hours on average.
I would like more.
Usually
Bro,
8.
You do that for
Like 10.
your life, whatever that looks like. Some people have high aspirations, right? Dude, you're gonna get more than 25 years worth of life right there.
Also, think about it. When you have kids, you never need to sleep, dude. I can stay up and work and not get tired. I can like have so much more free time.
So you
See, I
guys-
don't want to live till like I'm 125 years old. That sounds awful. But like
I don't think you.
the quality of my life.
25 is that 25 added or I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't think
120 because
anyone
I'm living
I
till I'm
don't
100.
I will be.
Because I'm
I
outliving
will be.
you.
That's
so.
my plan.
Yeah. Anyways.
Wait a second. So you guys are choosing no sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? How would you guys?
Well, why don't you ask him?
Wait, how would you guys know though? Yeah, I'll ask him. But like, how would you know when it's like? Because sleep is like a moment where you get to go to sleep and your next day has started, and you
Yeah.
feel like a refresh. When would your guys' refresh be?
I just have an alarm still. I still have an alarm. I'll be like, oh, it's time to get ready. To be doing whatever I'm doing.
See, my thing is, if I wanted to sleep, I could. But if I didn't have to, I won't need to. You know?
No, you don't get to sleep.
No, because he said I could.
Oh, you could sleep.
I don't. You guys are just the would you rather.
That's a game changer right
Just go over that. If you guys want to add your
Because
own.
then if I'm bored, I
things-
can just take a nap and then wake up. You know?
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't need to though.
I wouldn't need to, but I mean, maybe it'd be fun. You know? I have so much time now.
Just think about how successful in life you could be, or how unsuccessful in life you could be if you had no sleep. Like, you could literally work throughout the night.
Yeah.
Like, just make your own thing. Everybody's like, dude, it's a cheat code. You never sleep. Then you get to be like, yeah, well,
But
I'm a millionaire. I'm succeeding in life, whatever.
but I could be living to 175.
That sounds
and
awful.
be like,
Hold the phone. You're not living 150 right now.
I'm not holding a phone right now. But
Hey, get to make hold the
Man,
phone.
hold the phone.
Hold the phone.
no, I'm not holding the phone. No, I think it would be great. What's your answer?
Real quick on that. Oh, man, why did I say Real quick on that. I was listening to this podcast with like these two people that are all about like health and longevity, and they think that some of us people like now could like live till 180, like a normal thing. Anyway, my answer would be the no sleep.
Dang, you guys are crazy.
Yeah. Well, the reason why is that, you know, what quality of life will I have when I hit 125? You know? Like, once you start getting that high, it's just like, all right, what are you doing? I mean, it'd be cool to see, like, generations that lead behind you. But with certain people, like, you can either be really productive, how Matt was saying, or with other people, I feel like you can become more and more lazy. And I feel like I'm a person that's, like, productive. So I think about, like, what I could all get done within, like, that time. Like, say, like, you know, during the day, I don't want to work, you know? And then while everyone's sleeping, that's, like, my shift, right? Like, 3rd-hour shift. But then I get to have quality time with people. Or think about, like, the workouts and think about, like, your extracurricular activities. I don't know. I just think it'd be cool.
I think Anytime Fitness would actually be a thing.
Anytime Fitness would be Braden's Fitness.
That's what it would be called. Did you say you had another question or?
Another question.
I just-
Didn't I think I said 2.
I have thought on it.
I did have another question, but I'm good.
I don't. It would be weird because my brain is like, well, how would your like energy level work? Like if you had no sleep and you're
Well,
just
yeah.
like, let's say you work out every single day or every day you work out. Like you could work out 3 times a day, right? Like if you really were doing that, would you ever be like tired because your body needs to get that energy back? So how would you like?
Rest and recover.
Yeah, but we're not gonna worry about that because
This is all hypothetical. I don't know.
This is hypothetical.
it doesn't matter.
So my second question is, in the ideal world, like you need sleep, but in your ideal world, what is your time you wake up and your time to go to bed. Perfect world. What's the times? Like someone said, for example, they would love to go to bed at 12 and wake up at 8 a.m.
Perfect world.
Perfect world being as like I won't be tired.
No, not like you're just work and everything works well with this schedule.
I think I would want 10 to 6. Like I knock out at 10, and then I wake up at 6.
That's like,
Well, that's
Weird.
that's like the middle of the afternoon. What do you mean?
What the heck, dude? That's so weird.
Well, that's just like talking about like with work and stuff like that. If I didn't have to worry about that, I think I would really love 11 to 7.
That's what.
That's what I
So
was
it's
gonna
11
say.
to 7.
I would say 11 to 7:30, or 11:30 to 8. One of those.
I think I'm probably like.
That's like 3 a.m. to 7.
Well, this is so weird to me.
3 a.m. to 8.
I feel like this is a weird question because like, you can kind of have control over that if you really want to. So I don't
That's
wanna-
so true.
like you could do that. You could just fall asleep whenever you want to and wake up when you want to.
No.
But
Like
are
a
you
regular
s-
week.
Yeah, but you're saying it affects like work is like part of it. So
Yeah, I can't. Well, my ideal one was like 11 to 7.
Oh, okay.
I can't
so,
do that.
Okay,
I'm
so
at
it's
work
not
at 7.
based off of the work
Yeah.
situation.
So it's
Okay.
ideal.
Hypothetical.
Oh, I would do 1 to 8.
1
so
to
weird.
8. You are such a gamer. Monique, how does that make
I
you
like
feel?
hanging out, dude.
Oh,
don't
Monique, this is
even
actually a
know.
question for you.
Oh, okay.
Do you think that playing video games with friends is hanging out?
Yeah.
Explain why.
Well, because you're like talking to them, it's almost like you're on the phone with them, you know? And I feel like that kind of counts as hanging out because you're actually doing something while you're on the phone. I don't know. When you hang out, you talk. When you're on video games, you talk. I'd say so.
So let me ask you this. So if Matt was like, oh, I'm going to hang out with Caeden, what is your first initial thought? That me and him are going to meet up, or that there might be a chance we play video games together?
I don't know. If he said hang out, I'd think meet up.
To your
Yeah.
house and then play video games.
And then you'd
That's
play
just-
video games. Well, you just got a PC, so usually when you hung out, you came over and played on my PC. So,
Facts. Well, you graciously let me
so
play on
I
it.
did. For a small price.
I just also like to say I'm a productive human being.
No, you
Oh,
are.
yeah, you are.
I've been working. I've been doing stuff too. I'm not just living in my
Literally.
basement.
Matt's doing a lot.
I feel
Matt's doing a lot.
Everybody's like, Matt doesn't sleep. Oh man.
You're a bum.
But actually though, so like last night I was reminded I'm so sorry, I keep moving back. Last night I was reminded of your guys' how fun your guys' relationship is or seems to be. Obviously, Braedon and I don't know the insides of it, but I got to because comedians were they were improv comedians, and they're like, we need some guests, and we told Monique, you got to do it, and she literally counted to 5. She went,
I made a deal. I said if no one raises their hand in 5 seconds, I'll do it. I should have said like 15.
and
'cause no
it
one
went
did.
5 seconds went fast, and then she went, and then they're like, yeah, come on, and then no one was raising, and Matt was like, you know what?
No,
Excuse
it
me.
wasn't like that. Everybody's like, Matt, what are you going, Matt? You
I was
got
trying
that's
to-
your wife.
I was
That's
trying
your
to-
wife.
I was trying to make you sound like a hero.
No, what? No, bro.
So Matt went up there, and they did their thing, and it's kind of funny because they kind of think the same. So their stories were they were tied in, but
we
the
had to.
two
We
other
had to tie
people were not tied in with their story. So they were trying
were
to take
trying,
it
yeah.
somewhere, and then they were trying to take it somewhere else. And I was reminded of how fun your guys' relationship is. And so
had a
you
good
guys have
time.
been married for a year and
And a
about
half.
to be a half.
No, it's already-
Or is it just half?
Yeah, it was half on December 2nd.
Dang.
When were
We
we?
get married in June 2nd.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What year?
I don't know. I don't know any years.
2022.
Three.
There
You
you
can
go.
do the math.
Listen, this is all I know. I
2023.
know time, and I could very simply do the math, but I never think of a year. I never go.
How are you with
What
months?
year?
Do you be
What do
like,
you
hey,
mean?
Braden, you remember when we went to that one trip? What month was that?
Not good at all. Actually, I think I've gotten better because I've had to like grow up and like plan things. Like for example, in my Europe trip, it was the end of July to the beginning of August.
Yeah.
I remember that. And like August 17th is when I proposed to Kenzie. Like so I'm getting better at knowing dates, and also with teaching, I have to like our units and like the weeks and months they are. But usually before like adulting, I had no concept of like time and calendars and dates and months of anything. Like I know the day I asked out Kenzie was April 2nd to be my girlfriend. But like that's like, I don't know a lot of other things. I know dates. I don't know like years people are born. I know his because he's older than me by a year.
Still productive, guys.
God, I didn't say you weren't productive.
You're old.
You guys are going to be moving out soon. Do you guys want to talk about that or no?
Well,
You guys will.
We don't want to jinx anything. It looks very, very, very promising.
Well, no matter
for sure.
if it's that spot or not, you're moving out.
But like one would be
Hopefully.
very soon. We'd be moving out. The other one would be like we would have to wait until the next opportunity would come up. So maybe like another month or two.
Are you guys excited to move out?
Yeah. No, we actually. Do you want us to talk about that?
Yeah.
I'd love to.
We were talking about this because I was like reflecting on it. It was so weird because I told you guys, anybody watching wouldn't. Some of you might know what my old apartment looked like. This new apartment, this might be, I don't know if this is like a flex or if this is just weird, but it looks exactly like my old apartment. Like when you walk in and it's up the stairs, so it's an upper level on the back side of a building, and you turn right and it's the same exact look as my old apartment. It like gave me hard deja vu. There's a couple of nicer things about it, like the kitchen and there's an extra room. But I was, once we left, I was like, the person was saying how it was everybody was like starting to tour, and I was like, okay, I really,
6 people.
yeah, I was like, well, we really want to, and we also feel like we really need to, like in our season, we really feel like we need to move out and just be on our own and just start to live our own life. And I was not gonna lie, I set the application, and I was like, oh, I don't know if this is really fast, because like we had to put down the next month so that we could get it in case someone else wouldn't put it in like for the same month, but then we wanted to wait till February or something, right?
Yeah.
But anyways, I feel like today I was reflecting, and then I was like, I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
If it happens, like, yeah.
I also have this thing where if I have to make decisions really fast, I like second guess everything and I look at the negatives. So when he started filling out the application, it was like we just only toured that one apartment. It was like 5 minutes after we like came out of the apartment and we're already like saying yes essentially. And I'm like, wait a minute. We don't have to do this. And then I started looking like we were next to a high school, and I'm like, well, is that going to be bad? And then I started looking at the negatives, and then I started freaking myself out because I've never moved out and like lived kind of on my own, like without parents in the house. So then I was like, oh my gosh, this is so scary. Like,
Sorry. Also, her thought of, oh my gosh, we're doing this was us sending in an application, which is not.
but that was real.
Yeah, it was real, but it's not like, hey, we're signing right now. Like, they have to approve us, and then we sign a contract. No, we had to get our application in, but, yeah, no, I just wanted to clarify that.
So, real quick, I just want to talk about this. Matt, one thing I admire about you is your enthusiasm from work. To enthusiasm to get tasks done. Like you bring a great light and energy. And I just want to say, like, you work really hard. I think you also like to play really hard. So like when we've talked about like the things, staying up late playing video games, like,
oh, yeah.
we do not think of you as a lazy, unproductive person.
real?
Maybe sometimes. But I just want to say, I think you work hard and you just like to play hard as well. Like you enjoy your time and like you value your time and your activities, so you are willing to sacrifice sleep or sacrifice different things to reward your time of working during the day and like providing for your family. I just real quick want to say that.
Yeah.
You have great enthusiasm. So let's play a fun game, okay? So you have the apartment. You said how many rooms do you have? 2 and like a half one?
Yeah, it's not
In a living room?
Hallway
In a
almost
living
looking.
room,
Okay.
kitchen, bathroom.
What is going where? This, and there, and wait. Let's play what's going there and this, and there. Let's play. What's going?
No,
where,
because we
this,
actually
and
have
there.
different opinions on what we want right now.
Yes.
Oh, let's talk
So-
about it.
It's hard.
That's
Okay.
what's up.
I think it's difficult because I have a thought about what we're gonna do because we both have computers, right? And that's gonna be a big part of like where things go as far as room spacing. I had thought about using the additional. So we have a little room. It's not even considered a room, but we have two, like
like
the
a
master
storage
bedroom
area.
and then another room. She wants to use that other room for like, probably for like a TV in there.
Oh.
No, like there's a
which
closet
room?
in there.
No, there's 2 rooms.
Oh,
so
I thought you were talking about your like the side hallway room.
Can we use Jordan's room, Matt's room,
I mean,
storage room?
technically, I mean, it's
Because then I would
Yeah.
I would
okay,
be with
so
you
we
the whole
would be
time.
in Jordan's room, I think.
that's the part. Dude, you know what?
The gaming room
So-
would be Matthew's room, and I thought like we could do a little bookshelf, get a little beanbag.
So instead of
make
calling it a
up.
gaming room, it would be
Like the
just
office.
an office room.
The office room.
The office room.
The room that, like Jordan's room, right? That master bedroom is actually like pretty big. So like when you first see the apartment, it looks exactly the same, but like the room is actually like in the back is bigger, and it has a connection
And you said
to the bathroom
yeah,
as well.
I was gonna say your
which is really
bathrooms are
cool.
different too.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I had thought about this is what I was hoping for. We have a little hallway next to our patio door that it's like I don't even know how to explain it. It's kind of like it is a room, but it's like almost like a little hallway. That's how I would explain it. And we probably could fit our computers there just because like it would, but we could have a full spare room. And I thought about like, okay, well, if anybody ever wanted to like stay over or if we ever needed to take care of anybody, like we could actually have a full room for someone instead of it being a mix of stuff. Like, I don't know. I thought that'd be a good idea. But it's hard because without actually having our stuff there and trying things, because I like Snug. Snug is, this is Matt. This is efficient. Matt likes efficient. So
What's snug?
like when things are
Tight.
Tight.
yeah,
Oh,
like
close together. Or
like
think
corner
about
fit in the
snuggling.
corner, fit in another corner,
see
and it's
that.
just like really well placed. Like it's efficient. That's my thoughts. I know how it goes.
Are you guys curious about our thoughts?
Yes.
Oh, you have thoughts?
Okay. My first thought is, that small room. My immediate thought is storage, like whether that's
what I
stuff
thought.
that's like can be put away, stuff
Yep.
that will not be seen, stuff like that. I see what you're saying though about it being like a place, but is it ventilated very nicely or is it cold?
No,
Or it's going to be like what the okay.
It was really nice in there.
So how big is it actually? Like if you put your arms like this, is it like that big?
Oh,
Dude.
the storage room?
Yeah,
No.
it's smaller than
It's
that.
smaller than that.
It's hard.
So, like-
I don't know if our PCs are gonna fit in there.
So if you guys were like playing and let's say Matt gets mad, is this gonna happen?
Hey.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, that
is
way.
that gonna happen?
Well, it's kind of like a rectangle, so it's.
Again, if I don't get mad, I'll just turn and tap her on the shoulder, bro.
No, it's kind of like a rectangle, so like sideways, it's kind of small, but it's longer. If that makes sense.
Okay. And would you guys have it like one at the end and then
And then one at the other end, yeah.
okay, back to back or both facing the same way?
I honestly don't know.
Because it'd be kind of
think
cool if
back
they were
to
both
back.
facing the same
We
way.
literally toured it for like
7 minutes.
there wasn't much to see, but like they had other people coming in, so we were in there for like 5-10 minutes. I don't really know too well. Like I didn't go in there and be like, okay, how would this work? It's just
Get your measuring tape.
yeah, I just saw it. I was like, this is cool. And then I saw the 2 rooms. The only thing that was weird that she pointed out that I do think is weird is they have mirrors as the closet doors.
I don't like sleeping looking at myself. I think that's really weird and creepy.
Yeah.
So like we can only face our bed so many ways, so I don't look at
It's
myself when I
full,
sleep.
full
It's like
mirror,
full-
full door mirrors,
So
both
weird.
sides, in both of the rooms. I just think it's a little weird.
Yeah, I think they do that. 1, you have a mirror to see yourself, and then 2, I think the idea is makes a room look bigger.
Yeah, well, maybe. Smart.
I vote office, storage room, master bedroom, living room, dining room, kitchen, shower.
That's honestly probably what.
I vote.
Oh.
Put your bedroom in the living room.
Yeah. Why are we not thinking about this?
Forget master bedroom.
Yeah, let's go to the living room, guys.
We don't have any couches, so we could put
Put
our
the bed
middle-
in the living room.
middle of the living room.
have your dining table in one of the master bedroom.
Oh my god.
Have your gaming stuff,
Dude.
in the second bedroom, and then throw all your like coats, shoes, and stuff that you don't want just out
Yeah.
in that little hallway.
I'm
Kitchen-
excited, by the way. for my
Kitchen,
couch.
use that as
Your
use
couch?
the kitchen. Use the kitchen as the bathroom, and then the bathroom as the kitchen.
What are you?
What is
Yo,
going on
I
right
think
now?
we're onto something. Actually, though.
Garbage disposal.
So okay.
That's
wait.
scrub it up, dub.
Do you plan on having a lot of guests over all the time?
Oh, actually, we do want guests. We actually think about this.
You're not invited.
The complex does
a list.
not
Dang.
have parking.
Yes.
There's like no guest parking. That's the only like
Can you park on the road?
I don't know because it's a busy road down from the high school.
I don't know if you'd want to.
That's what I don't. I actually have not thought of.
By the way, high school thing, you're saying a little bit nervous about that.
Yeah.
That I look as a cool thing.
I think it's cool. The only thing I was nervous about is traffic because we're on that road that like turns into the high school. So from 7 and 3, or 7 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon, it's gonna be like busy.
But how often are you guys driving at 7 and 3? Because then you do
I-
like
For
12-hour
school.
shifts.
Most
For,
days.
for school.
Oh, don't you have 12-hour shifts?
Well, you're about to graduate, bro.
Yeah.
I,
Think about
okay,
the future.
but we're also not going to be going. Like we're moving away from it, so I don't think that's gonna be a problem.
Well, speaking of
Everybody's gonna be going towards it.
speaking of school, now you guys like move into this new place. Instead of a guest bedroom, why not a baby?
Oh my gosh.
Is this the beginning of
no.
a family?
That's what the small hallways for.
I would be,
my
I would be
gosh,
very
only you
shocked
and
if our baby happened at this apartment. I would be very shocked because we want to move out. Like we're gonna have a year lease. Goal is a year out and have a house. And honestly, by the way, we're only doing an apartment just because we haven't lived like just us two on our own property or like our own place. So we wanted to just start with something that's an easier manager.
So when you look for a house, what areas are you looking for? Are you trying to? Is it like anywhere in like this like circumference?
You have no say.
It's really hard because like where we want to live is kind of clashing because he works so far like West Bend. He works in Florida, up in Orlando,
Yeah,
you know, because
yeah,
it's
yeah.
really. Anyways,
Yeah.
which is an hour away.
We actually have a drought right now. If you can tell, it's pretty warm.
Which is an hour away from like where we live right now. If we came to here in Miami, Florida, it would cut off like 10 minutes maybe. But if we went like further north, like he wants to go further north, but I don't because it's kind of feels unsafe to me to live there and get a house there. So I want to live here personally, but
Like if, for instance, because everybody lives in Mexico City for us.
Yeah.
So, like, because we all live in Mexico City, I thought that that would be the best place to have a house because it also does cut off about 15 minutes of my drive when I'm driving to
unsafe place?
London every day. So it's just like the Mexico City to London commute is
it because
it's tough sometimes, you know?
Is it because of the commute or because don't you have your company vehicle?
Yeah.
but
Is
it's
it the
still
commute time
It's
or
the
is
commute
it?
time.
It's not
It's
the
simply
gas.
the commute time.
Okay.
because
I don't get-
sometimes he has like 3-hour days and it turns into like 5 hours because he has to drive there and back, which
so
sucks.
awful.
Yeah.
But do you get paid
Well-
8 hours?
Yeah, a
He
lot of
does.
times. That's one of the
During the
very
winter, it
big
gets shorter, but
perks of my job is the way it works. Now, granted, there are days where it's not an enjoyable experience, but there's a give and a take. So some days I'll literally, like, for instance, I feel like this will make some people really jealous, but on Friday, he literally called me on Thursday and was like, my boss, he said, put yourself down for 8 hours tomorrow. If you want to work, you can. If you don't, it's whatever. He said, and then he asked me to just do one thing. He just basically drop off my trailer. But then, I just literally got paid 8 hours to drop off a trailer.
Wow.
I was like,
A blessing.
dude, I know. I've made sure to let him know because he's very generous. But
did you say what you do?
I do dryer vent cleaning, and basically go around. Right now, I do it where I clean like apartments and condo complexes where I'll do like a bunch at one time, maybe like 50 units in a day where I just go and I'm on ladders. And I will say that's one thing about the jobs that can be kind of nerve-wracking to some people is like I have to go up on like 28 or 36 foot ladders to clean stuff or on lifts. But I'm switching into residential, so going to people's houses.
Oh, really?
Yeah, phone, like, basically they call for a appointment, and then I'll be going and looking and diagnosing their problem, and then fixing it, or cleaning whatever they need done.
Wow.
You know, I could have started a company.
Yeah.
Elias?
Yeah.
Where
Remember
did
when
that
you were?
come from?
HVAC and then you.
Oh,
You guys
yeah,
could have like
that's
had a
true.
whole company.
okay. That caught me on so
Is that
guard.
not the same thing?
Say what?
Is that?
That's so funny. I have no idea what HVAC is. I'm not gonna lie. I
It's
thought it was heating.
it's not, but it's HVAC is also part of it. There's heating and then there's HVAC, which is
Hey,
like
Monique,
air.
I'm on your same boat.
Thank you.
It's all just conditioning of air.
It's
Oh,
that,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think. Yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you.
What I
I'm
will
with
say
you.
is most people will ask me, do you do HVAC cleanings? Do you do all other stuff too? Like there's multiple different types of vents that run through people's ceilings that you would never think about, but we only do dryer stuff.
So with this taking the next step into like living on your own, what do you guys? So you guys live in a very nice house with your parents,
Yeah.
and you guys have a whole basement together. Now, what is something that you are most excited about and nervous about moving outside and being on your own?
You know anything?
I'm most excited about just living with him, because I feel like just like us two, if that makes sense.
Well said.
Because I feel like a lot of people.
Wait, who else are you living with?
I feel like a lot of people who move out and like live together say it's like the best thing ever. I know like pastors says like it's gonna be amazing once you guys move out. I'm like, yes, I know. So I'm really excited just for it to be us two and like see how that dynamic or our dynamic changes. But I'm nervous about like being the woman of the house, because I've never had that role. I don't know what that's gonna look like. I don't know if it's gonna be stressful, if I'm gonna enjoy it, if I'm gonna have to learn to enjoy it, you know. Yeah, I think that's my biggest
What does the
thing.
woman of the house entail? Or do you not know exactly right now?
Well,
I'm
currently been it, so
Well, as the
you took
no,
woman
I
of
like
the
typically
house.
woman-led like chores. I guess I love doing. Well, kind of. I want to learn how to cook and like be like a really good cook, a really good baker. I want to clean the house, get some nice cleaning supplies, and just make sure everything looks really just like a homemaker.
Yeah.
Whatever that looks like. But staying in the house and not doing yard work.
And what is like
favorite and least thing?
Favorite.
Like what you're excited for and what you're not excited for? Is that a
This was
combination?
the excited for was just us. Yeah. Anyways.
and what is nerve-wracking about being the wife of the house?
Just because I've never done it before.
Okay.
I'm just hoping that I find joy in doing that, and not like it doesn't feel like a burden, I think that's the biggest thing. Also, with me being in school the last semester, I hope it doesn't like become too much where I think it's like, I don't know.
it won't
Like-
be.
That, yeah. I hope so.
Your husband makes
Speak
a
that
ton
into
of
existence.
money.
You are
But yeah,
amazing.
thank
you
you.
are faith-filled,
Thank
right?
you. Yeah.
You know,
That's great.
illness and disease can actually be like exacerbated by your mind.
I believe that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I kind
I
of say
believe that.
I kind of say that to say like go in there with a.
because I didn't think
I say that go in it with like a attitude that it won't be a bother. It won't
Yeah.
be a problem.
It's true.
Preach
It's all
it.
mindset.
Amen.
Monique, you're
It
you're
won't
one
be a
of the
problem.
toughest people I know. You can take a lot of disses and still give it. So
Thank you. Thank you. What can I say?
So I'm
Oh,
very excited. I'm very excited for. Okay, sorry. I was actually thinking about moving out. I was like, okay, well,
Monique, you stay here. I think I'm gonna go move out and experience.
us moving out. And I was thinking about, because it's like something where it's because it's my parents and because our situation is very good.
yeah,
Rent wise, everything combined. And it's just like where we're moving out, but it's like, it's not like, oh, it's just gonna change things completely. But it's like, well, I was trying to figure out if I'm excited about that or if it's just like, we just need to do this. But the more I've been thinking about it, I've been like kind of imaging it. Like us. Imaging it?
Imagining.
Well, I was put image. I was
Both-
thinking of an image.
both
Like
work
imagining
great.
it. Imagining it.
with
is probably right.
images.
Yeah,
Imagine it with
images.
images.
Yes. And I was thinking about us just like in the apartment, just walking around, like maybe like getting a couch, having a TV, having like a movie night together, just laying, and it's just us. And I was really getting excited about that idea of just having that. But it's hard to have that idea without us actually being there yet.
Yeah.
But I just know, I told her that once it happens, it's gonna be like, oh yeah. I just know it. Like right now, I can't think about it like that, but like I know once we move out, we're on our own completely. It's gonna be completely different.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about that. One thing I'm nervous about, honestly, cast your worries upon the Lord. He'll take care of you. But if I had to choose, I would say financially, it's wasting money in an apartment, and it's not like the greatest idea, or not idea, the greatest thought. You have to do it. It's a good thing to do in your life, but it's just a little bit until she's done with her schooling.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna be both working full time. Hopefully within the year at least we can move somewhere, get a nice house. Yeah. Lord blessing us and stuff. So. Yeah.
Wow, this sounds. Oh man, I'm excited.
I'm excited
for
dude.
you guys. I'm excited for you guys.
By the way, I just want to say, you guys are gonna be entering that stage really soon. And that's exciting.
I was actually gonna bring that up. So you guys have been married for a year and a half, and 5 days.
I'm not gonna remember.
And so you guys are entering that. We are now entering I am now entering. Braedon has been there when the fiance stage.
Well, you guys, how long is your fiance stage compared to mine? Isn't yours shorter? No.
Ours was 11 months.
No. Us.
Well, when did we get engaged? I'm gonna have 10 months.
I'm having 10 months too.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Babe.
Well, we didn't say the same thing
at
at the same time.
Babe!
Anyways.
Cringe.
So, Sneakers.
That's what's up.
Hey, Sneakers, let's listen up.
Personal. That's personal.
Too far. And that's what's up.
So we're now in the fiance stage, about to get to the stage that you guys are at. What is like some advice that you would give, passed down to us, your golden nuggets, if you will? Monique, say it from like a guy's perspective, or like a girl's perspective.
Oh, okay.
Like with a guy, so that way we can know what the girl may be thinking and the girl may be processing with. And then Matt, obviously, say from the girl's perspective. I'm just joking. Right. But like, what's your guys's? What is like your golden nuggets that you can pass down to us?
So part of the engagement process is having that the premarital counseling with the church. And dude, if you like actually not actually, but if you take it seriously and you apply they give you stuff to do throughout the week, like between the lessons, depending on how often you do it. And they're going to give you stuff to like do or try things. And with that period of time, like I seriously thought we were so good. And not that we weren't, but there were so many things being missed, quality of relationship that I didn't realize until started to like actually do some of these exercises and also really applying them, because we both really invested in our relationship and make sure we're taking care of each other. And we just started breaking walls, and it wasn't easy all the time. Like there was some like tears of just like frustration and like moments where we had to call each other out, because you can't always be nice to your spouse. You have to be like, sometimes you have to be stern in certain situations where both of us, where we've had to say, hey, this is where I need you right now. And I think throughout the engagement process, learned that you also are going to learn a lot of discipline, because you have to, it's the idea of you're about to be married, but you have to wait. And it's this difficult process of like, you want to be there, but you have to learn to be like, patient, accepting of like where you guys are at, and just that idea of getting to that date, and then just allow that. And then the wedding day, man, everybody took care of it for us, but like I have some really good images from that day, and it was really nice. It was very effortless, but there is a lot of complications all the way up until that. I feel like engagement process most of the time is gonna just be bumpy road, because planning, coordinating with families, financially supporting for that, the ideas of how you want to do it, and then you also, that's a huge part, is like depending on how involved the guy is, it's the ideas clashing of like, well, I would want this, no, I want this person, and people, and who's invited, and so all that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's a great learning.
One thing that you were telling me one time was expectations. Like, it's good to be excited about stuff, but don't have your expectations so high, because for whatever reason, if it's not that, then you're at a place you're like, oh, I thought this like wedding and marriage thing was supposed to be like the greatest thing in earth, and I'm not on earth. It's not like, and in heaven. Think about it. Have gotten in marriage, but it's like, be excited and be like ready to go, but also like, don't be like, wait, what? Like, I thought it was supposed to be like this. That was one thing you said to me once, you and a friend, and I was like, that's very, very good to remember. Because in my head, like, you know, we all heard about Caeden's proposal. That was movie-esque, Oscar award-winning Tony. He got an EGOT that day, and like that sets like things pretty high. But he's great at making moments. But it's just like, you know, you never want to be in a spot where it's like you go into a moment, you're like, oh, it's gonna be this, but then you're just like, oh, it's not, and it can kind of take away like the feeling and joy of it.
And I think what you're saying, where it gets like bumpy and like the fiance stage, is like, this is in my, like, how I imagine with images in my mind of like what I'm picturing, what I'm picturing, right? What I'm picturing is that this is like a hallway of like tests, trials, of going through stuff of, is this right? Is this wrong? Is this all that stuff? Because the devil is trying to, he doesn't want you to get married. Because if you get married, you're going to start a family. You're going to like you're going to produce the things that are beautiful to God, what God has created, right? And so, and if you're like in ministry and you're like attacking and you're going for you're fighting for God's kingdom, devil ain't want you to have more weapons, like gonna have little babies that are also gonna grow up and do the same thing. So I see it as like, the devil's like, all right, this is my last try. Because in the dating, you know, you go through your things, you're like figuring out there's boundaries, all that stuff, and he's like, all right, I can mess with that. But then when it gets to be fiance, it's like, oh my goodness, okay, they made it through that. Now this is my last resort. And so when you're saying that, it just reminds me of, or it makes me think of, that this is hard because the devil ain't wanting this. He's wanting to be separate and not generational and stuff like that.
I was gonna say this isn't the devil that had this, the situation was caused from, but I did think it actually really pertains to this. When we were engaged, we had multiple people who had visions or basically felt led to talk to us out or call us out.
Actually, it was you, because I never heard any of this.
No, but they were you're right. But they were speaking to me, and they were all not communicating, saying the same thing. And it was literally when they went to an event and the pastor had spoken about something and our names popped into their head, and each of them separate didn't talked to me about it. And I think it was literally 3 people. I was like, okay, this is interesting. And I was like, okay, what is this supposed to be?
What did they say?
So what they said is, they called it, they said, when he was talking about the unequally yoked and the marriage, you two came to my mind. So they said, I think you need to pray about if you guys are supposed to be together, pretty much. And like all 3 of them pretty much said the same exact thing. And so there was a big moment because I received it within like a day. Like 3
And at this
people.
point, we were engaged for like 6 months, I think.
Like we were...
Like it was planned.
Yeah,
like
we literally had so many things in place. And then I was just like hearing this. I'm like, Lord, what are you... Like, what? I'm like, man, and I, so personally, because they told me, I thought, wow, I must have really been off of my faith rocker here. Because if I chose the woman that I thought I was supposed to be marrying, and I'm not, like, what does that say about my relationship with Jesus? Like, am I really just confused, or what was going on? So I just remember, I was like, okay, well, first off, I have to talk to Monique and just say, hey, this is what's happening. But I just remember this was a very pivotal point in our faith relationship, because I went to her, I told her, and I said, but what we need to understand is God has this. God comes first. If he doesn't want us together for whatever reason, we cannot be the ones to decide, because we give him ourselves, we give him our relationship, we give him our family, whatever it is, our need, our wants, our needs, or whatever is all his. And so I just remember we would just put it on him, which sounds, well, it probably doesn't sound easy, but it was not easy. And it was just like to come up to the idea and like wholeheartedly believe no matter what, right? Because it was difficult. Because I loved her and I was so excited about marriage, and then all of a sudden, like, I might have to give this up. And she would have to as well, but if that's what the Lord wanted. And so then we did that, and we were praying, and I was trying to like hear from the Lord, and I was talking, getting counseling with like my pastor, and but when we ended up going through this process, we got confirmation from the Lord that it was a test. There was someone's story who I won't share the whole story, but they basically had prayed about something where they asked for a sign, and they said that if they were holding the engagement ring at the end of the night, so they said they were going to hold it out, and if it didn't touch the ground or something like that, and I can't remember exactly, but literally their hand was still holding onto it, and it was literally like this in the morning. And it was like that. It was some crazy story where I was like, "Whoa, are you serious?" He's like, "Yeah," and it was the Lord. It was so like there's no other way. Yeah. And so I had started acting that into prayer, and then we got confirmation that it was just us getting tested. Yeah. But it was so
we truly put the Lord first before us. You know. Yeah.
Very difficult.
Well, I'm sorry. It's just on that.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna add one quick thing. It's so crazy because after that confirmation is when we got attacked by the enemy the most. Like that's when everything started becoming like really hard with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think also it goes to like when you get engaged, it's like you get in this mindset of, oh my goodness, it's all happening. And like, not that you put God aside, but maybe it's not your primary focus and stuff like that. And I think he wakes you up and goes, hey, you need me in your relationship. Yeah. And so it, like you were saying, it wasn't like, oh, we needed to like call it off and split apart, but it was God was calling our attention. I remember when I was thinking about the milestones of writing down with for Jayla. And I was driving in the car with Braedon, and I was like, dude, guess what? I started writing my milestones. And he was like, oh, did you just start today? And I was like, yeah. And then he's like, dude, that's crazy because I had a dream last night of you doing this. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, so how, like, because I'm curious. I was like, how did it go? And he shook his head. He's like, so like in my mind, it wasn't good. Like what happened wasn't good. And I was like, oh my goodness. Was this not supposed to be? And so I was like, okay, whatever. And I kept praying about it, and then I kept going. And then Monique had a dream, and we were in the music room, and Jill's like, tell us your dream. And she's like, well, you got engaged. And by this time I had the ring. And she was like, I had a dream that you guys proposed. And I asked you, I was like, was it good? Because I just heard about this dream, and I'm like, oh man, I hope it's good. No. And Monique goes, well, it was okay. And I was like, oh no. And
like,
I was like,
in the
what
dream,
happened?
like he forgot the photographer. It was like it wasn't planned really well in my dream.
It was just like, it just happened. Wow. Like just like out of nowhere. And I was like, oh my goodness, there's no way. And then I literally was like, God, if there's going to be another dream, it has to be amazing. But I remember I was praying about it. And I was like, God, is this really is this of you? Like, is this? And I felt like he said, look at your relationship. You're living for me. You're doing your stuff for me. You guys are building my kingdom. The only problem is you don't have me in your heart. And I was like, man. And so I remember I started like devoting. I was like, all right, fine. I understand. I understand that I was missing you. That was the only problem. I was missing you in it. And so I remember I was praying, and then I continued doing it. And then I think the reason why I was crying so much in my engagement is because I felt as though I gave it all to God, and God made it beautiful.
Yeah.
And He made it all. Everything was seriously. It was a dream what happened. So going back to your thing, I felt like it's like God saying, am I relevant in your relationship?
Wow.
And it's like almost like a call to see if we respond. And you responded, and now have a beautiful wife. You have a super hot husband.
I do.
But I just think it's like God trying to get your attention. Mm-hmm. It's not that God's saying no.
Right.
But it's like you reflect on your relationship. Obviously, if there's things that are going on that isn't of God or reflecting of God, then think about it or be like, all right, we need to work on this. We need to make sure God is at the center of our relationship before we take another step. Yeah. But God might just be like, all right, I need you to hear my voice. How good are you at hearing my voice when I speak? Yeah. And so seeing you guys, like you guys love God, you guys absolutely love to sing and worship. Monique can play every instrument. Matt can touch your heart with his words in such a meaningful way. So it's like you guys, like this is of God, and you guys are producing to enhance the kingdom.
Thank you.
But
That's amazing. I know I shared this. I just thought of I know I shared this at point, but I just keep on thinking about the story of the prodigal son, and basically the idea that everybody focuses on the prodigal son, that he was the one that was lost. He came back, right? The father came and put a robe on him, put a ring on him, threw a big feast. But the focus that recently I took, it was the older son, and I know I talked about that, but the older son being the person who had been doing the stuff. It's like, hey, I've been doing all this. I've been worshiping. I've been at church. I've been serving. I've been doing all this stuff. It's like, where's my feast? Where is it? Like, where am I going to get this? And the whole time he's just like, where's your heart at? Mm. He's like, I don't care about your works. Like, I do, but it's not important. I just want to have a relationship with you. Yeah. When you wake up in the morning, are you working with the Lord or are you working for the Lord? Yeah. It was just a huge correction in my heart. I'm like, am I going to just do this to try to please God or do it with God? Yeah. Because that is more pleasing to him, right? And it's difficult because it's like, it's not always easy to wake up and be like, hey, Jesus is with me right now. I can feel it. Because you don't always feel that. You might be like, man, I'm really distant this morning from feeling like Jesus is right here because it's going to be hard. I got a long day ahead. And it's just, but the closer I found that incorporating him, last night I literally 2 nights ago, I was in the car driving and I was just like, I felt really, I don't know. I felt like God wasn't like, I know he's with me, but I didn't feel like he was there at the moment. And I just was like, I have control over that. Like, if I don't feel like God's close to me, I can do something about that. So I just started praying aggressively. Like, literally, I was just like, I love you, Jesus. I want you right now. I want all this. And I just started doing that. And I was like, it doesn't have to be pretty. But, like, I just want him to be here, even though my heart doesn't really know what it wants right now. I need him. So I started praying that, and I just started feeling a lot more peace in that situation. But it was just kind of like that idea. Yeah. So that's why I was reflecting off of your ideas, your story about how you were like feeling your heart wasn't connected to him, or that's what he was convicting you on. Yeah. But you were doing a bunch of stuff for him. Right. Like, well, how? Like, all I do is church or Jesus, right? It's just, but that's. Yeah, right.
So the original question was, what is, no. Like, okay. I was, because Monique didn't answer the original question, but that was beautiful. That conversation was so beautiful. Yeah. The question was to both of you, what is the golden nugget that you can pass down? And Matt said his beautiful thing. So
I'd say one piece of advice that I'd give is humility. Like, in every engagement, marriage, in every season, try to be humble. And I thought humility came easy to me because I'm like, oh yeah, and put others first. Like, I like to do stuff for them. I have a servant's heart, I guess, most of the time. But in those moments where you don't want to, that's when you have to. And that's where I've learned that I have a very selfish heart, because when I don't want to, I don't want to. Like, don't make me. Like, no, this is on you, not me, But then, I reflect and take a step back, and I'm like, you know what? My heart is really hard right now. And so I think humility is a huge part in marriage. Just always being the servant. Never expect to get served, because that's why you're in the marriage, is to serve each other and the Lord, Yeah. And you have to do it with a humble heart. So that's my piece of advice, I guess.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I actually got that advice very similar to my stepdad, John.
Oh, really?
John, he was like, Caeden, if there's anything I could pass down to you. He said something, and then he said, as a man, you take responsibility at all times. So if you're in a fight, even if it's not you, you take responsibility. You take it on and you go, how can I fix this? How can I do it? But obviously it's a team effort. But he's like, take it on and you'll see that things will be resolved immediately. As you go, you know what, I'm sorry. Now let's get to the place where we discuss it. Right. Instead of like, ah, rah, 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 rah. He's like, just take responsibility and then be like, all right, let's talk about it. And so I was like, oh, wow. And when you're talking about humility, it's like you're putting yourself, your feelings, everything to the side and be like, all right, tell me what's up. And so that reminded me of the advice I was given.
Also, this is actual genuine advice for women like that are getting married. And I know, funny. I know that you said this before, but for me, Monique's faith support is so huge, because the men are supposed to be the faith leaders, but without her being devoted, being in scripture, not feeling bogged down by the world, when she's free of that and she's able to be a light into my life, it is exponentially, like, it's so crazy how much more I feel like the kingdom is being used, or like being done for the kingdom, when her faith is also like, even if my faith isn't like the best at that time, but it's so huge. It's so huge. And I it's not like the guys' camp isn't huge too, but that's expected. Like, it's really expected the guy is the leader. Yeah. The women, it's like, yeah, of course you're going to be in your faith. But like, I'm telling you, take it very seriously. Yeah. It's very important, because she's helped me so much throughout seasons. Right now, I feel like I get to support her because she's going through schooling and working, and it's a lot more chaotic, and it's something she's not used to, and it's a lot of energy, and I just have been kind of figuring out things that I can do that help her, like just kind of just giving her what would be the word, like confirmation. Basically, one thing I do is I'll just be like, if she's really down or she's saying negative things, I'll just be like, you are this, you are this, you are this. I saw someone do it, and they do post notes. I thought it was such a cool idea. So I'll just do that, because I know that it's just that's something that helps her be like, oh, I can do this. I can be that way.
No, school is really hard this semester, and I feel like I've never been so bitter in my life. And like in those moments where Matthew is like, no, you can do it. I'm like, it's so easy for you to say. It doesn't help that you can do it. Why don't you do it,
I can do it.
No, but seriously, like reflecting, like those words were in the back of my mind, like throughout the semester, just like, I can do this. No, it's just a season. Like, I'll be okay. So I think that really, really helped. But also something that popped in my mind while you're speaking is, I've been hearing this proverb a lot, or like reminded of this proverb a lot, that you can either be like the nagging wife that drives him into the corner of the roof of the house, or you can be the crown on his head. And I feel like there's really no in between. Like, you're either driving him away or you're giving him honor, know?
Yeah.
So whatever, choice you choose.
I also heard this guy talking about on a podcast, he was saying, it's a little clip, how your wife is like your partner and like there to help the man and like the husband. And so this guy's a pastor, and as a pastor, you're called to a lot of different things, like on regular school day, like just 24/7 essentially. And he goes, like, one thing that my wife would do while I was gone, like, he would say fighting dragons, which I thought was like weird analogy, but going out and like doing the Lord's work and like being like in service to like his community and like his the congregation and everything like that, he would come home, and one thing he loved about his wife, to his children would talk highly about him and be like, your dad is out there like doing these things, and we get to be part of that. Like, what opportunity, he's blessed. And he's like, I would come home instead of hearing like, Dad, where were you? Like, why weren't you home? Why weren't you here for this and that? He said he would come home and he'd be like, Dad, you did it. Like, how was it? Everything go well? We were praying for you. And
That's beautiful.
yeah, and then you just look past them and you look at his wife and be like,
Yeah.
thank you. Like, I don't know. It's like there's so much like the Bible and like what we believe and stuff. There's a lot that goes on like the man, but like you can't like do anything without like a partner that like supports you and lifts you up. And then like just talking about like you're talking about like the power of like continuing on and resilience and like grit.
Yes.
And like especially going through this time of like a lot of schooling. And you said it's a season.
Yeah.
And like one thing I was thinking about, because I've done some like physical feats and stuff, and like sometimes like I've quit, but sometimes I've kept going through. And it's just like, if you ever quit within like the season of it being hard or like the moment, right when you feel better, you're gonna regret and be so hard on yourself, being like, I'm fine. Like once you finish this schooling and you're making bank and like and you're in your like residency and like you're doing all that stuff, you're gonna be like, you know, like you think at high school, you're like, high school is the end of the world. Then you're like, college is the end of the world. And then you start doing this and you like look back to always the season prior and you're like, that like wasn't bad. Like I enjoyed that. Like it wasn't as difficult. So it's like, that's another thing. I was listening to a guy talk and he goes, I have this mentality of just do not quit. Like whatever my goal is, you do not quit. Because if you quit, you're going to like, you can't live with yourself with that. And he's like, so when he was doing these hard tasks, he's like, don't quit. Because the moment I feel better, I'm done. Like, then I'm going to be like, wow, like I could have powered through that. And then this other person was talking about, he was like, you know, you want to build like trust within yourself along with others. So if you're going to say you're going to do something, and you do it, you accomplish it, you can trust your word. You can trust that you can believe in yourself and be like, yeah, when I say something, it will happen.
Yeah.
And it builds trust within yourself, but then also like to other people. Like you can build a better relationship with others too. If you're like, he's a man of his word. He is someone that like when he says something, it gets done, it gets accomplished.
Yeah.
And then have I told you about the Mount Everest story where they depressed?
Also, I was thinking, I do think as well, the part of that is humans in life, I'm not saying strive for this, but if you don't succeed, right? If you do quit, I think it's important that you're not overly critical of yourself, because we're not always going to be on times I've said I'm going to start working out and continuously do that, right? And not to say that I don't want to, but I'm saying like there's going to be things in life where you say, oh, I'm going to do this, and then you don't. Yeah. And I think it's important that you don't.
But you also never fail until you quit.
True.
You can be down on the dumps for a long time.
Yeah.
But if you quit, then you lost. But if you don't quit, then in the end, when it comes back up, you will succeed. So like no matter what, you always want to like power through and keep going. I had like these two stories. That one time I told them in like a car recently, and like they didn't know the context of the story, and they're both like super sad, and like I was crying while telling them, and they're like,
"What's going on?
What are we doing?" And like we went into and like got some Brewsters from like Peru, and they're like, "Why'd you tell us those stories? Like, what was the reason for the one about the father?"
I have no idea.
There's like reasons behind it. I heard it was like a crazy story.
That is a crazy story.
He's like, no context. Dude, best story ever.
Honestly, dude, that was probably the best story you ever told. But Monique, what are some golden nuggets that you can bless the guys with for being a girl in a relationship?
Okay.
What can you bless guys with?
I have to think about this one.
Do you want to hear this story while you're thinking?
No, it's gonna make you very sad. Well, not sad. I feel like it's like a heart tug, but then you go like, wow, it has a great meaning behind it.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Emotional. Yeah.
The reason why.
And Matt, think of like a thing that you can bless a girl with. By like words.
While you're thinking about it, I won't tell the sad one. I'll tell the other one. Okay?
They're both sad.
No.
Yes.
One's about coming to God. I'm going to tie it to coming to God. So this guy, he goes out, crazy endurance athlete. He's done a lot of different things. And one of his goals he set out was to climb Mount Everest. Before that, he would deal with a lot of like mental health issues, just like lack of worth and things like that, and you always like run away from it. So he's like, I'm going to climb Mount Everest. He uses these different activities of crazy endurance to like take his focus or whatever. So he ends up climbing to Mount Everest, which, by the way, on my bucket list, I heard someone describe climbing Mount Everest, and I'm like, that sounds really dangerous. I want to at least go to base camp, which is still really cool.
I feel like
But
once
climbing
you get
Mount
there,
Everest,
you're gonna wanna
no,
go.
I heard a story about it where like this guy was literally talking about how you're going up there. So when people die up there, you don't like do anything with the bodies.
Yeah.
So you walk past
Yeah.
dead bodies, and they're perfect condition
Yeah.
because of the cold. So he says they look like wax figures, and some people have their eyes open. He said he was climbing down after being on Mount Everest. He said you could hear a pin drop. It's that quiet. He's like, it was perfect. It was like blue skies all over. He did a backflip on it. This is a different guy, but he's talking about his thing of it. And he's like, on the way down, he has this carabine, which is like basically hooking onto like this line. So he had the carabine, and he's like, on the way down, you literally have to get belly to belly with the people coming up, and you have to hold on and swing around and put the carabine on, because you have like maybe like 5 feet of like space, maybe less than that, before it's a 15,000 foot drop to death. So he said he was walking down, and he said everything takes super long, just because you at that spot you have like no oxygen. And even in fact, on the way up, so you have these oxygen tanks, you have 5 settings. Each setting brings you down 1,500 feet. So like if you're at 20,000, you do the first setting, down 1,500, down 1,500. At level 5, you have the most oxygen coming into you. But you then, if you do that, then your thing lasts from 30 minutes to 45 minutes, and you can't just walk with a bunch of oxygen tanks on you. So he was like at 3 on the way up, and at 3, you're so tired. Like, you're so exhausted. You have no oxygen. Every step you take is like a whole battle. And at 3, with the amount of oxygen that's coming in, your body relaxes because there's enough to breathe, so you fall asleep while just standing on the mountain. And so he fell asleep attached to the carabine, and his Sherpa that was with him slotted it back to 1, and he went, and like he had hard breathing, but he woke up. And he needed to do that because people fall asleep sometimes, and then they end up freezing to death because it's negative 20 degrees with all this windshield and stuff like that on a mountain, or if they fall or anything like that. So you want to stay awake. Anyways, the reason why it's so dangerous, he said he was climbing down, had the carabine, was moving down, and he was 30 minutes like past this point, which, by the way, that's like a matter of feet. Like, that's not like 30 minutes. He's like, you're moving at 0.2 of like 0.2 miles an hour. Like, you're not even moving like a mile per hour because you're so exhausted. He said everything, like there was like a section that just collapsed. And he said, just like that, 3 people died.
Wow.
Just like that. He's like, at like a handful of people died. And he's like, what? Like, he was just there.
Wow.
And he's like, I'm going down. And usually people take days to get down the mountain just because of acclimation and everything like that. He goes, no, we're doing it. And he said, like, once they got to like Camp 4 or something, within 20 hours, they went all the way back down and they were done.
Wow.
You were saying about the guy who got to the top.
Yeah, I was gonna. So it's very dangerous. So I would love to go to base camp.
Yeah.
So the guy went up to the top of the mountain. He got to the top of Mount Everest completely by himself. And the other guy, he said, there's something that's insane about being the tallest point on Earth. Mm-hmm. To be the thing that is highest above. And the other guy, he got up to the top, and he was at that moment, and he was looking around, and he's on top of the literal world. He's away from all distractions, and he was left with himself, and he still felt nothing. He felt he had no care for himself. He didn't see his self-worth, and he's like, wow, I can come to the very top of the world, away from everything. And he says, I still can't get away from this feeling.
Wow.
He went down and went into hard alcoholism and stuff like that. But then the reason why I'm tying it is like nothing in this world can fill the void that God can. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That fulfillment, that love, and all that stuff. Like, you do not need to run to the end of the world, the tallest peak, to get away from everything,
Yeah.
and still feel nothing when you can simply just, like, have God in your life.
Yeah.
But what are some nuggets?
That was kind of sad.
That was beautiful.
Well, don't hear the other one. The other one's a little sadder.
Oh, the other one gets crazy. Goes crazy in the paint.
Can you restate the question just for the viewers?
What are some nuggets that you guys could get? I don't know.
What are like some girl or nuggets that you could give from a girl's perspective to guys?
Okay.
And then yours is the
Guys,
vice
girls.
versa.
I'd say the one that I thought of, I guess, was to hear your wife and not just listen to her. Like, truly, like, take the time when she's talking to you. When she's talking to you, like, truly just, like, be in the
She
conversation
just keeps
with
on
her.
looking
Like,
at Matt. We're just like, hey, we're over here.
Well, yeah, this is an open
No,
space. You guys are giving advice to
yeah.
us. You guys are giving
No,
advice.
sometimes I think because you're, like, always with each other talking about, like, sometimes it's pointless. Sometimes it's, like, actually, like, you need to hear it. It's easy to tune each other out. Like, each other out, you know, not just the guy. But, like, I think it's just really important to, like, understand that conversations are a really good connection. And if, like, you truly hear what they say, take it in. And, like, if they're asking you to do something, like, put in the effort to do it. I think that solves a lot of issues. So that's...
Can you explain the difference between hearing and listening?
So if you were...
And give me like a...
Matt, could you explain?
No, okay. So, for example, you were telling that story. Listening would be, like, me just sitting here, like, okay. Maybe I'll go on my phone, like...
No, that's hearing. You said
Oh, sorry. Hearing.
Yeah.
Wait, did I do it backwards?
know.
Pay attention. Okay. Did I do it backwards?
You did.
Listen instead of hear. Listen instead of hear. So you were telling the story. Hearing would be like I was just like listening to you kind of half-heartedly.
There's just a noise.
Whatever, hearing you half-heartedly. Maybe I'd go on my phone. Once you're done with the story, we don't talk about it any further. It's just like done. Like that's the conversation. Listening would be like, oh my gosh, no way. I'll add to it, put my 2 cents in. I'll remember it in the future.
Yeah.
Kind of like that stuff. It's more effort to listen.
And how can a guy do that? And like, you know that it's honest and true.
Eye contact, yeah.
Okay.
Or like being engaged. Eye contact, yeah.
Well, we are engaged already, so
Yeah.
I was just
Kidding
I've
me.
had
At the same time, actually.
I've had multiple situations with her where
Sort of.
I will literally be like thinking that she'll talk. I can talk to her without even being there. Like I'm saying, sometimes and I try not to because like it's just like a second nature thing. I might just be like distracted and then she'll be saying stuff and then later I'll be like, when are we doing that? Like, are you serious? I literally you said yes. Like what? You used me in that moment. Like you
Matt,
knew
can I-
I was wrong. Huh? Yeah. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Love you.
Matt,
No.
can I say a story about you real quick?
Oh.
So one time Matt and I were playing, and this is when Fortnite was huge and whatever, and we were playing a video game together, and he was like, oh my goodness, I have this interview, or something that was like kind of important. And I was like, oh, okay, no problem. I don't, like, whatever. Expecting him to fully, like, he didn't mute his mic. No, he did mute his mic, but his character was still moving. Like, he was, like, in battles and everything, still talking to this person. And that person, like, oh, my goodness. He's, like,
Felt
not,
different,
he's,
dude.
like, kind of listening, but not. But then we, like, almost was starting to win. So I unmuted. I was like, bro, let's lock it. And then he, like, presented his mic, and I hear, like, the other person talking. He goes, let's do this thing, baby. Sorry.
That's
go.
hilarious. I wish I remembered that. I don't remember that.
It was at your,
that's probably why.
It was with the Jordan and Matt apartment.
Oh, okay.
Jordan
I
and
feel
Matt,
like that would
you
make
and
sense.
Jordan's apartment.
Yeah. That's funny. No, it's something where I've definitely gotten more. I've gotten better about that because like she's also called it out, which is important.
Yeah, I'm like, what did I just say? And you always answer.
Yeah, and then I said, okay, like, just confirm with me, especially if it's important, confirm with me. Anyways, so that's good. But I'd say on the flip side, for the nugget for the women, guys, I think a lot of the stress and the things that are on guys' minds isn't just like visible. Guys carry the weight of the relationship. They carry the safety. They carry the financial. They carry the faith. They carry relationship-wise. They carry the well-being of their wife. There's a lot of stress and things that you can't just see.
Right.
Like it's stuff that you're just doing in the background. With that being said, if a guy has a thing and like we actually just had this conversation, but if a guy has a thing that they just want, like it's my thing, like that, I literally was like, hey, I just want this. This is my thing. And for me, in my mind, I was like, if you could do this just as part of like, because I'm doing other stuff. Like we all have our own things,
Like,
but
I'll
like
do it.
I want something specific for me. It's
Yeah.
kind of like, to me, a symbol of, okay, she really respects that I care about her. And that for me is like getting scratches. Like I really, really, really like it's just, I feel the love from, but I think it's very important. I'm not saying that guys don't do the same thing for their wives, but to just understand that is a lot of stuff that you won't ever really ask for acknowledgement for, just because it's like, it's just part of the job, it's part of being a husband. You do that, but it's a lot of stress. It's a lot of, like I often catch myself like worrying about her a lot, and I'm like, are you good? Like, is she good? I need to make sure I can fix that problem, because she's just like, she's out here, living, surviving, and I'm like, I need to fix stuff. Like, if I notice something as a constant in her life, I need to help fix it, because I can't let her just sit there, and I just feel bad. I have the connection. What do you call it? Like sympathy? Or no? You probably would know. What's something where you have the feeling for that person?
Empathy?
Empathy. Yeah.
Babe.
But like, obviously, because she's my wife, I have a very intense empathy.
You guys are one.
Yes, exactly. And so I feel her burdens, like when she's stressed or whatever, and she's telling, like, when she was in the beginning of this semester, when she was first starting part-time, really was very confused about her job, if she should just quit, because it was like a really weird environment for her spiritually. She thought it was like an attack, and she would just like
A lot of anxiety.
a lot of anxiety,
I never had
like just
anxiety, yeah.
and like won't, but it would be just random, be like, I can't do it, like, and it would be just, we're not even doing anything. She'd be like, I'm freaking out over here, like, and I'm, everybody goes through stuff like that,
Right.
and I was just like, I can't take this. I would feel so sad. Like I'd feel so bad. I'm like, you can do this. Like I really meant that. Like I'm like, you need to do this because I need you to, for me as well. But like the Lord has you, like, and then people are confirming that God is putting us through stuff right now. But her, that on the other side is like, guys take a lot of responsibility for stuff, and you won't really realize it, but you will. It's just, you won't think about it too much. So that's my thing.
Well, you guys have an absolute beautiful relationship, and Braedon and I love hanging out with you guys because you guys are legitimately best friends, and we can joke around with Monique as she's a boy.
She's the boy.
We can mess around with you as you're like our
A girl.
but like you guys have such a friendship relationship that it's so easy to get along with you guys. So how I would like, unless you have something left, how I would like to end the podcast is you guys saying your favorite thing that they do, or that just like favorite thing about the other person that you just have in general, or something that they do or something like that.
It's easy for me. Okay. My wife's smile is, so I'm telling you, people that know Monique, she is a very positive, bubbly person. I'm very thankful. I'm very blessed that I have you. I love you. Your smile when I get home, when things are hard, no matter what it is, you always make me just very joyful. Like seriously, I am so grateful for you. I just see you and I'll be like, I'm so happy. You just make me, no matter what. If we'd be already happy, we'll just be giggling, call each other stinker, having our own little world. I love it. Everybody try to have it. Nobody can have it. It's ours. But no, that's mine.
Oh, it's beautiful.
My favorite thing about Matthew is his passion for the Lord. Whenever he is speaking to people, like praying for people, going over time, and people's like, oh, look at Matthew, he's just speaking, praying over time, like taking his time. I just get so much, I want to say pride. Like I'm so proud of you and like all that you're doing for the Lord, and it just makes me happy. That's my favorite thing about you, your relationship with the Lord.
My favorite thing about Caeden is...
And that's what's up.
And that's what's up. My favorite thing about my fiance is
So that's episode 57. Thanks for watching. It was definitely a blast to be talking to such an amazing couple. They're so fun, energetic, some of the best people you ever meet and run into. Definitely a blessing to a lot of people. Like, again, the enthusiasm that Matt has when he brings towards like any activity, if it's working hard or playing hard, he has enthusiasm throughout the whole thing. He's never having a problem. And then Monique, you guys are perfectly coupled in the way where she's so positive and bubbly. Literally, there's no one better for the other one in this situation. I couldn't see Monique ever with any other. And then Matt, this is the only girl that would probably ever like you in your life. So he is a special human being. But they are spectacular together, and they definitely bless anyone that they're involved with or like they're talking to or just hang out. They have a lot of friends, a lot of people that care about them and want to be around them because of the energy and love and life that they give and bring. So
also, I just want to say, this is, by the way, from Monique and I as well, but we care about you guys a lot. Yeah. And you guys have done a lot for us. Your guys' constant support, friendship, all that stuff. Just our discipleship together, I just want to make sure that day we goof around and stuff, but like you guys mean a lot to us. And it's so cool to see how like I know we're the same age, but like how you guys have been growing, how you guys have been changing, and to see the development and stuff. And so when I say like I'm so happy you guys are getting married and things are changing, like I'm so excited for it. And we're just getting into our lives, dude. Like we've just been,
we've been doing
it
now and stuff.
We've been faking it for so long. Now we gotta do it.
We do traditions and trips and events.
Yes.
We're gonna be the crew. So like, subscribe, follow. You have something to say?
No.
Like, subscribe, follow. We definitely fueled your curiosity today. Make sure you pray to God, develop a relationship with Him, talk with Him. Actually, real quick, talk about the importance of prayer and reading your Bible.
Oh wow!
Matt.
Okay,
it doesn't have to be long.
Yeah,
like just a little, like empower.
So, real quick, because Caeden brought that about the relationship thing without your prayer and your Bible reading. Also, I'm gonna add in fasting. It's very important.
Do it.
Yeah,
just go off.
Yeah, but without all three of those things in combination, committed to the Lord, not just doing it to do, like committing that to the Lord, you're not gonna see your growth. You're not gonna see craziness around you start to fall apart, because the craziness around you when Jesus is in your life does not affect you. It really doesn't. It's the matters of when you're in the thick of it and you don't actually into the thick of it. Yeah, when you're in the thick of it.
I'm so sorry.
And you don't have the Lord with you. That's when you're gonna get really tested. You're gonna get tempted. You're gonna do whatever because you're not with the Lord. So He knows, and the devil knows when to attack you. So, but when you're with the Lord and you're living for Him, He's going to allow you to grow. I honestly I'm a weirdo. I love trials. I love growth, because I always look back and I reflect at like how much I changed because of that. And the only way that it works is through those combination of those three things, to actually be like praying to Jesus, and not always when you want to, dancing for joy, doing all of the things and seeing, do I have the fruits of the Spirit? Do I have this stuff right now? Do I have joy in my heart? And what's causing problems? And I think honestly, it's probably my favorite scripture now. I don't know.
What is it?
It's in Ephesians. I don't know what it's called, but I just know the verse. I know.
It's more important.
I will work on
honest.
making sure I know the actual verse, but it's don't worry about anything in all things. Don't worry about anything in all things. Give thanks to the Lord for all He has done, and cast your worries upon Him. So it's like, don't don't worry about stuff, which first off is insane. I always think about, like, how do you do that? Well, you can't, right? But it's like, well, you can give it to the Lord. And then you just give him thanks. So if you're ever feeling worried or stressed in life, instead of focusing on how do you fix it, be like, thank you, Jesus. I'm telling you, we talked about it at service, which it blew my mind, was when you're feeling jealousy, which also another form of that I do think can be like a worry thing, is celebration as the counter. So when you celebrate something, encounter, especially celebrating your Lord, praising your Lord, he's the only one that deserves that. He needs to have praise. Like, it's not a selfish request for him to ask that. And then the combination of that with the scripture that talks about take up your cross daily. And it's like, you take up your cross because you have to deny your flesh constantly, but at the same time, you can give your cross to the Lord in that day, every day. So you pick it up to give it to him, but you have to do that. And again, that's through that stuff.
Absolutely. No, that was perfect. It's important to have a relationship with God. So, like, subscribe, follow. That was episode 57 of BC Procast. Thank you guys for
That's
watching.
what's up. We filled your curiosity.
And that's what's up.
Peace.
Peace.